So what I'd like to do here is have a little video demonstration of something that I've seen on the internet a few times where we've examined moonlight and its effect on temperatures. And in these videos, what we've seen is the moonlight appears to be cooler than in the shadow areas. You can see here, my shadow area is not under the table. That's a pretty common theme amongst these other videos. The light is actually shining under my table, and my table is casting a considerable shadow that we can take temperatures out from underneath the table. And the idea here is that we're going to examine light from the moon. And one of the theories is that the light actually is emanating from the moon and has special properties which allows it to cool the surfaces that it hits, where shadows kind of keep things warm. What I have is a laser temperature thermometer that is pretty common for these videos. I have a neutral density filter here for the screen, so I can knock down the light coming off the screen so it matches the rather considerably dim conditions that we're shooting under. We're kind of pushing this video gear to its limits just to be able to record at such low light levels. You'll see here the last reading was 43 degrees. I will take a new reading. Just takes a second here. It's a little bit trickier than it looks. All right, we've got the thermometer running, and it's saying 39 degrees in this large shadow area, 38 degrees in some spots. Under the table in the light, where we get attacked by the cat, of course, that could possibly throw off some temperature. But we're getting readings 37 degrees or 47 degrees, 48 degrees, whether it's in that light area or not. Try to hit this shining area. We see 44 degrees. It's actually a bit cooler, really, in that light area. But under the table, directly under, most centered under the table, whether it's in the light or in that shadow area, is roughly about 47 degrees. Then we come all the way back out here, away from the table, and suddenly the temperature drops again about 10 degrees. 38, or yeah, it's about 38 degrees, 39 degrees, and you can see as a control here, I'm shining it in the light and then in the shadow, and there is no temperature change whatsoever, whether you are in the light or whether you're in the shadow. As long as you're away from the table, you're going to get a pretty consistent reading. We can see that underneath the table, it is actually still warmer, even though there is moonlight under the table. And away from the table, in the shadow areas, and just being away from the table allows the temperature to drop quite a bit. It's pretty obvious at this point that what we're seeing is that this table has been sitting in the sunlight all day long, and has stored a lot of heat. And get away from the table out here in the deck area, temperatures are just going to drop, because the wood obviously isn't going to store the heat the way the stone does, or the glass tables that we see in a lot of these videos. And so the moonlight itself doesn't really seem to have much effect on it, whether it's coming from the sun or some unknown cause from the moon itself. It really doesn't make any difference. It appears that it's the table itself that has the biggest impact on temperature and the proximity that the reading is taken. The closer to the table you get, the warmer that reading's going to be. And whether it's in a shadow of the moon or light of the moon, it really doesn't make any difference. The moonlight doesn't seem to have any sort of impact on the temperature. I hope that clears a few things up, and have a good night.